What is conversion? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, I recommend that one first to give the context about what we're going to talk about now. We're going to take the prodigal son passage from Luke 15 and learn from there what actually is a conversion. And actually, we're even going to give this passage a new title, which we're going to understand at the end of this video. So first of all, and forgive the translation because I only have a Bible in Spanish, we're going to start at verse 11. There was a man who had 2 sons. The youngest of them said to his father, "Father, give me the part of my inheritance that belongs to me." What this son is doing here is something that we all should do. It's not that he's being a brat and being like, "Hey, Dad, give me my inheritance and I'm going to go squander it all." He's saying, "Father, I know that you have what I need and what I'm looking for, my deepest desires, and I'm asking you to give that to me." He does what a son is supposed to do. He goes to his father and asks him for what he needs. That first step of saying, "Lord, I need what you have for me. What is it? And can you give it to me?" We ask him for it. A few days afterwards, the younger son put all his things together and then he went to a faraway land where he spent all of his inheritance living like a libertine. That is essentially what all of us do every single day because we're human. We take what God's given us and we don't always use it in the best way possible. So we take the life he's given us, the intelligence he's given us, the heart he's given us, the talents he's given us, and sometimes we get a little bit off track and we start getting our focus somewhere where it's not supposed to be. So when it says that he went to a faraway country, doesn't mean that we're all going somewhere really far away from God and I'm the worst sinner in the world. No. But when I leave that place of harmony with God, I'm going way too far away. That's what happens to the son, and that's what happens to each one of us. After he had spent everything, an extreme hunger came over the country and he began to experience a lot of need. And that's when he ends up going and finding work, and he ended up sending him to work in the pigsty. He's feeling a lot of need. This is a golden moment in the life of the prodigal son because he is able to recognize that he needs something. This is key in a conversion. It's to recognize that there's something in me that's not enough, something that I'm not able to take care of on my own. It's a need that I have that goes beyond and outside of myself. What is that need, and am I able to recognize it? The son all of a sudden says, "My father has all these people working for him, and they have bread in abundance. Meanwhile, I'm here dying of hunger." So that's when he says, "I'm going to go to my father and tell him, Father, I have sinned against you and against heaven. I don't even deserve to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers." He stands up, he goes home, and he's got his plan set out for what he's going to say to the father. This is our next key moment in conversion when we actually can ask forgiveness and say, I messed up, I'm sorry. And say from the deepest part of my heart, I'm sorry, I need you. It's an act of humility when I can actually go to God himself or even to another person and say, I'm sorry, can you help me? When he gets to his father, this is the key moment that we wanted to get to today. When he was still far away, his father saw him and moved, ran towards him, hugging him and kissing him effusively. And that's where the son gives his whole confession. But this is now the key moment in which we're going to understand what conversion really means. And that's why this passage now no longer refer to it as the prodigal son, but as the merciful father. Because our conversion depends on us taking those first steps of recognizing that there's a gift that I receive from God, recognizing that I don't always use it well, asking forgiveness for not using it well. But from there on out, everything else depends on the Father. It's the Father then who embraces me, hugs me, kisses me. The Father doesn't ask him, where is everything he gave him? He doesn't ask him what he's done with it. He doesn't ask him what he's done with his life. He just says, I'm here. And that's what real conversion is. Real conversion is whether I'm with my friends, I'm at work, I'm at school, wherever I'm at. It's allowing myself to live inside myself and that peace and harmony with the Father, so that that's what I take to each place, because that's the real gift he wants to give me. And that's what conversion is.